Hey guys, it's Alicia. So today I wanted to talk about the stereotypes of a person with single-sided hearing loss. Now when you do go onto your Google, if you happen to Google these, and I did have to a little bit just so I am aware and I understand, because I don't necessarily face these all the time, and I mean I faced a couple, but really you don't know everything, and it's important to keep educating myself and helping you guys as well. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we? The first one that I hear about the most, especially with single-sided deafness, is, oh, you can still hear me though, so you're fine, right? It's sort of like an assumption that the person can still hear properly, even though truly you can't, right? And you know this, I'm sure, if you are deaf. With or without a hearing aid, you are likely to miss what people say, and that's normal. I miss things all the time. I'm always like, pardon me, what did you say? I totally missed that. That's normal. You aren't completely aware of what people say. I'm not. I never have been. And that goes into another stereotype, selective hearing. My mom talked about it in a previous video. That isn't the case. Whether or not you miss something, it isn't because you chose to miss it. It's because you missed it. Or maybe you did choose to miss it because you didn't want to hear that. That's up to you. And it depends on how much you choose to hear in the world, I guess, if you want to put it that way. I always try to hear everything and make sure I catch everything. I've found it beneficial for me in ways. I don't know. It's a sensitive topic in a way. It's hard to know, especially with stereotypes, and this one in particular. Just because you still have one ear that works, that doesn't mean that you still don't struggle and you still are able to completely communicate like a normal person. Because I guess you're not. You still miss things. We all do. Everyone misses things all the time. And it's a little harder. You don't have echolocation, so you don't know where a sound is coming from. I definitely never know where a sound is coming from. Never have, probably never will. Hearing aids don't fix the problem. They help, yes, but they aren't the cure. There isn't a cure. Same with a cochlear implant, not that I have one. I don't know for sure, but they aren't a cure either, right? And these are things that if you aren't knowing of the subject, you might not know it, right? Another one is hearing aids don't help. They're expensive. They are. And whether or not they're beneficial depends on the person. They helped me, yes, in high school, but I'm going to turn 18 in a couple of months, and again, I talked about this in a previous video. As soon as I turn 18, because I live in Canada, the prices go up again, and it's no longer covered by the government, so I will have to pay for them full cost, and that's like thousands of dollars out of the bank, because hearing aids aren't cheap, right? And then I'll have to go into other options. A hearing aid, if it helps or doesn't help, it depends on the person. You can't know for sure. Everyone is different. Some people don't need the hearing aid or cochlear implant. Some people find it beneficial to them. Some people have to think of different options, and if you don't want a hearing aid, make sure you are in constant communication with teachers and stuff. And I hear a lot of parents say, my child chooses not to wear the hearing aid or things like that, and that is normal. I went through that stage where I didn't want to wear the hearing aid. For me, it was more of a scared feeling. I wasn't so much against the hearing aid. I knew it would help me, but I didn't want to wear it. I was scared of how people would look at me or if I would be treated differently, because I'm still human, right? And We all feel. And I guess it's just a scared feeling. I felt that way. But everyone's different. And I was uncomfortable with the idea of wearing my hearing aids around the class. And as I've mentioned before, when grade 7 hit, I wore my hearing aids and did struggle still because headaches became a thing. I didn't have volume control on my hearing aids. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video I did on this. But yeah, I missed a lot of what my teacher said because of headaches. My class was really loud. Now during the pandemic, my classes have shrunk. And there's now plexiglass and masks, which makes life more complicated in ways. No visual cues. I can talk about this in a different video, though. Only older people have hearing loss is another stereotype that is not true. So many kids in the world have hearing loss, single-sided especially. Deafness in general can come in all age groups. It's not just the elderly or older age groups. Everyone can get it, whether it's because you were born that way, whether it's because of a traumatic accident or something that caused it, or an illness, any of the sort. Hearing loss comes in all ages. It isn't just one age group. I'm a teenager and I have hearing loss. An adult can have hearing loss. An 11-year-old can have hearing loss. A baby can have hearing loss. And it is scary, but if you're born that way, you aren't really losing something. You don't lose anything. You were already that way to begin with. If you lose it, it's a challenge, yes, and I can't speak on that. I didn't face that challenge. But it is difficult to wrap your head around and comprehend, but you have to know you'll be okay. You will survive it. You'll get through it, right? My mom talked about this in the previous video, and I hope you enjoyed that one. It's a constant struggle. It's a learning process. I'm still learning to this day, and I can't speak on behalf of everyone. I can only speak for myself, right? And there's things that even I still have yet to learn about. Cochlear implants, I'm very naive about. I don't know much about them. Hearing aids, I could discuss. I know about them in a few ways. I could talk about an FM system. I can talk about my experience, but that's my experience. And everyone's experience is different. And you should never be afraid of what people think. I know I went through with that. It can be difficult, but you'll get through. You will push through. Whether or not people judge you, it doesn't matter what they think, it's what you think. And what your opinion is on yourself is so important. Because if you show a confident demeanor and are, yes, I am deaf, but that doesn't change me. That doesn't define who I am as a person. Then people will see that and like, go you. And they'll help you and they'll be there and they'll understand. But if you are self-conscious and are nervous about it and scared of what people will think, and I definitely went through that, I promise, you'll have some struggles, I'm sure. And everyone goes through struggles. Everyone goes through hard times. This is a hard time we are all going through. The world is going through right now, right? And here I am talking about hearing loss. But you just gotta push through the hard times. I had to push through the hard times. I had to face challenges. Grade 7 year. If you want more detail on that year, I guess I can. Let me know. It was a struggle. Headaches, and I've talked about this before. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges, and the stereotypes don't make it easier. The stereotype of having to raise your voice so the deaf person can hear you. Not true. That doesn't help them. Talk at a normal volume, right? Don't raise your voice. That doesn't help. Don't talk super quiet and muffled as well. So many different things, and the stereotypes are because someone isn't educated on it, right? And you can't be educated on every topic. I'm not, for sure, and I'm willing to admit that, and I'd love to learn. But you sort of just have to be the advocate, talk up for yourself, and if you're nervous, it's okay. It can be a challenge. I know that for sure. I've only just come around to being okay with hearing loss in my high school education. And I'm now opening up, talking about it, keeping in constant communication with my school so they know what I need and that they can help me. And that is so important. So I hope that I've helped a little bit. I know I rambled a bunch and I ramble a lot. I apologize. But I hope this video helped you, and if it did, let me know. Tell me what else you'd like me to talk about. I love reading your comments. It makes me feel good, and it's good to know that you're helping someone, right? And if I can help you, I would love to. So yeah, let me know what else you'd like me to talk about in a video, and I'll be glad to talk about it. This is Deaf Awareness Month. September is the month of deaf awareness, so we need to talk about it, right? It's a topic that isn't known much about, especially single-sided hearing loss. Falls through the cracks, as my mom said, to quote my mother. And yeah, that can be a struggle because you don't get noticed as much. But it is a thing, and you know it. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what else you'd like me to talk about, and I'll do my best to answer your questions and talk about it in future videos. I hope you guys are having a good day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye, my friends.